Starbucks isn't just a coffee shop, it's a cultural icon. For years, it dominated the coffee industry, expanding into thousands of locations worldwide. It wasn't just about the drinks, it was about the experience, the branding, and the status. But something changed. Today, Starbucks is closing stores, struggling with customer loyalty, and losing the magic that made it special. So, what happened? How did Starbucks go from being the king of coffee to a brand that's struggling to stay relevant? In this video, we're going to break down the rise and fall of Starbucks, looking at how it became a giant, the mistakes it made, and what it means for the future of coffee. The Starbucks story begins in 1971 in Seattle, Washington. Three friends, Jerry Baldwin, Gordon Bowker, and Zev Siegel, opened a small shop selling high-quality coffee beans and equipment. At the time, Americans weren't obsessed with coffee the way they are today. Most people drank cheap, instant coffee at home, and if they did go out for coffee, it wasn't exactly a premium experience. For years, Starbucks remained just that, a store selling coffee beans. Then, in 1982, a man named Howard Schultz joined the company. Schultz was a marketing executive, and when he took a trip to Italy, he had a revelation. He saw how Italians gathered in espresso bars, how coffee wasn't just a drink, but a ritual, an experience. He wanted to bring that concept to America. But the original Starbucks founders weren't interested in running cafes. They just wanted to sell beans. Schultz disagreed. He left Starbucks, started his own coffee chain called Il Giornale, and when the opportunity came, he bought Starbucks in 1987, merging it with his brand. That was the beginning of Starbucks as we know it. Schultz had a vision. Starbucks wouldn't just sell coffee, it would sell an experience. The company began rapidly expanding, not just in the US, but worldwide. By the 2000s, Starbucks had thousands of stores, opening a new location every 6 hours at its peak. It wasn't just about convenience, it was branding genius. Starbucks became the third place, a spot between home and work where people could relax, meet, or get work done. The ambiance, the music, the warm lighting, it was all carefully crafted to make Starbucks feel like more than just a coffee shop. And of course, there were the drinks. Starbucks didn't just sell coffee, it created trends. The pumpkin spice latte became a cultural phenomenon. Frappuccinos became a must-have. The Starbucks Rewards program turned occasional customers into regulars, making people feel like they were part of something exclusive. Everything was working. Starbucks wasn't just a place to get coffee, it was a lifestyle. But when a company grows this fast, problems start to appear, and Starbucks wasn't prepared for what was coming next. In 2008, the financial crisis hit, and Starbucks felt the impact immediately. When people tighten their budgets, one of the first things they cut is unnecessary spending. And for many, that meant giving up their daily $5 Starbucks drink. Starbucks, which had built its brand on premium pricing, saw a steep decline in sales. Suddenly, it wasn't just a luxury, it was an expense people weren't willing to pay. The company was forced to close over 600 stores and lay off thousands of employees. For the first time, it became clear that Starbucks wasn't invincible. But even as the economy recovered, Starbucks faced another problem: market saturation. The company had expanded too fast, opening stores so close to each other that they started competing with themselves. In some cities, you could find multiple Starbucks locations on the same street. This meant lower sales per store and a decline in profitability. At the same time, competition was getting tougher. Other coffee chains like Dunkin' and McDonald's introduced cheaper coffee options, attracting customers who didn't want to pay premium prices. Independent coffee shops, on the other hand, started offering a more authentic craft coffee experience something that Starbucks lacked. As more people became interested in high-quality, artisanal coffee, Starbucks began to feel like the fast food of coffee, mass-produced, overly sweet, and not particularly special. The brand, once seen as premium, started to lose its appeal. And then there were the management missteps. Starbucks made a series of controversial decisions that alienated customers. The company started taking strong stances on social and political issues, which, while admirable to some, frustrated others who just wanted their coffee without the politics. Then, in 2018, Starbucks faced a massive PR crisis when two black men were arrested in a Philadelphia Starbucks for simply sitting in the store without ordering. The incident led to nationwide protests, and Starbucks responded by shutting down thousands of stores for racial bias training. While the move was necessary, the damage to the brand was done. Meanwhile, Starbucks kept raising its prices. A small coffee that once cost $2 was suddenly creeping up to $3 or more. Customers started asking, is it really worth it? For some, the answer was no. In recent years, Starbucks' growth has slowed. While the company is still profitable, the excitement that once surrounded it is fading. Sales in some key markets have declined, and customer loyalty isn't as strong as it used to be. One of the biggest issues is shifting consumer behavior. Millennials and Gen Z consumers are more mindful of where they spend their money. They prefer supporting local coffee shops that offer a more unique experience, better quality coffee, and ethical sourcing. Starbucks, once a trendsetter, now feels more like a giant corporation trying to keep up. Health trends have also played a role. People are becoming more health conscious, and Starbucks' sugary, high-calorie drinks don't align with that. More customers are looking for organic, plant-based, or lower-calorie options, and Starbucks hasn't been as quick to adapt. To cut costs, Starbucks has closed hundreds of locations worldwide. The company has also shifted its focus to smaller, pickup-only stores to cater to the rise of mobile orders. While this makes business sense, it removes the third-place experience that Starbucks built its brand on. The cozy cafe atmosphere is fading, and with it, Starbucks' identity. So, what can businesses learn from Starbucks' rise and fall? First, expansion needs to be strategic. Growing too fast without thinking about long-term sustainability can backfire. Starbucks' aggressive expansion made it a global powerhouse, but it also led to oversaturation and declining brand value. Second, customer loyalty is never guaranteed. Just because a brand is successful today doesn't mean people will stay loyal forever. Companies need to evolve with consumer preferences. Starbucks became so big that it started to feel like just another corporate chain, and that hurt its image. Finally, branding alone isn't enough. A strong brand can take you far, but at the end of the day, product quality and customer experience matter most. When competitors offer better coffee, better prices, or a better experience, customers will leave, even if they once swore by your brand. Starbucks isn't disappearing anytime soon, but its golden era might be over. The coffee industry is evolving, and Starbucks is struggling to keep up. And it's not the only market facing a downfall. The luxury watch boom saw a similar rise and crash. If you're curious about what happened, check out this video.